Hey guys, it's Cameron from GameBang here, and today I got my man's John with me, talking about the Microsoft press conference. So, if you're gonna talk.
I was waiting for you to be done so I could weigh in. I don't know what you'd like to start off with. Overall, what are your thoughts on the whole conference?
They announced a lot of games, but they didn't show a lot of games, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. One of my main problems was that they didn't actually show enough of each game that they announced in order for me to be really excited and say, like, hey, this completely changed my mind about everything Xbox One. This is totally going to trump the fact that it's, online only and the used game bullshit system they're using and just the myriad of horrid features they have on it. There were some games that did interest me. Project Spark being one of them. Even though you thought it was more of a...
It's just like their take on like a Little Big Planet type game, because it's all community driven.
True, but it looks like it's that done well though. I mean, I can't knock them and say
it's definitely like their own take on it. Like it's not trying to be like Little Big Planet. It just kind of takes the basic concept of it and they take their own spin on it.
Yeah, and I mean that's okay. Lots of games do that. I thought when they finally showed the multiplayer of like how they're riding in on the land and creating earth bending, like,
earth bending,
it's earth bending to fire bending to mech bending. This is just apparently you're the avatar in this one, but it did look good. Sadly, I mean I will be 100% honest with you. There was probably nothing that could get me to buy the Xbox One at $500 or at all, mainly because yes, they have some games that I'm very interested in, one of which being Titanfall, which looked awesome.
Yeah.
And the multiplayer for that looked like an amazing game. It really did. That looked like something I could just sit online and just own people for hours.
That was the only thing that actually caught my eye out of the whole conference was Titanfall.
Yeah. On my blog, a lot of people are talking about oh, well, what about Sunset Overdrive? That looked amazing. I'm like, no, it didn't, because it was a trailer. It wasn't gameplay at all.
Yeah, they didn't show any gameplay of it. It definitely looked cool, but there was no gameplay.
Cool, but I mean, hey, Overstrike looked cool too. You saw how that turned out.
Made by the same people too.
Which is my point. I was like, I think I was reading somewhere. It's like Sunset Overdrive looks like Insomniac, was it?
Yeah.
Is going back to its roots. The only way they could screw this up is if they scrapped the cartoon graphics, made everything like Uncharted, and named it Blaze. I was like, oh, that was good. I was like, hey, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, because even I was kind of excited for Overstrike when I saw it because it was so humorous and
they changed the game drastically.
Yeah, completely overhauled the entire thing. I even liked how the weapons were in the trailer, and then they made everything go off of this basically all the same weapon with different functions is kind of how I understood it. And yeah, Fuse was not doing it for me.
I'm just really happy they're going back to their comedic take on video games like the Ratchet and Clank series, because I never played the Resistance series. I have no interest in playing it.
The Resistance series, I played the newest one, and I think maybe the first one, and it's not bad, but it doesn't really grip me at all. I mean, I played the multiplayer, and I mean, apparently people do like it, but I'm just not into it. I mean, when it comes to the poster boy shooter of consoles in general, like for Xbox it's Halo, for Sony it's Killzone, and I don't really like a lot of the in-betweeners, like Resistance, for example, which is something that a lot of people swear by Sony, and I'm just like, nah. I don't really like Resistance like that. The whole concept of it kind of just eludes me, to be honest with you. I just don't like any part of it. Even the guns are weird to me.
Back to the price point of the Xbox One.
$500.
$500 getting released in November. Also pricing it at 500 euros.
Yeah,
which
that's...
I have no idea why developers do this still.
Yeah,
500 euros is not the equivalent of $500. 500 euros is the equivalent of like $670.
Exactly. I was just like, oh,
this is why the Xbox does not sell outside of the US, because of bullshit like this where they just jack up the price just because you live in Europe.
Yeah, exactly. And then like for Japan, it's like, yeah, this is about 3 trillion yen, so have fun with that.
There'll be that one sale in Japan.
Yeah.
And it'll probably just be like some American who just moved to Japan and needs his Gears of War fix.
It's like Japanese people truly like just don't really like Xbox like that. And
no,
I don't
not
blame
at
them.
all.
And like Kojima is like that one guy on Xbox Island, like, it's fun out here, guys. And they're like, yeah, no, stay over there. Go home, Kojima, you're drunk. Like,
he's just talking to himself on the island. I'm so happy to be here.
It's just like, Kojima, like, come back to us. Like, you were so good. Like, you were golden. You had franchises under your belt that so many people want to play. I will never get over the fact that he personally said that Zone of the Enders 3 is, is iffy. I'm like, don't you dare.
No, we need Zone of the Enders 3.
The Enders 3. I'm like, and if anything, exactly how you and me think about it, if you're not going to make it, give it to Platinum where they can make the best game ever made.
Yeah,
okay.
Platinum needs to develop it. It's right up their alley of what type of game they can make too.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that they really want to play. If Platinum was going to keep working with Nintendo, that instead of Retro making the new Star Fox game, they wanted Platinum to make the new Star Fox game. I don't know how I feel about that, but it was kind of an interesting pitch.
I don't even know how I feel about a new Star Fox game, period.
A lot of people are saying that.
Speaking of,
I'm not ready to let Star Fox die. I think there's potential there. I mean, there's so many people out there who did not like Star Fox Adventures. I loved Star Fox Adventures. That was just me. I mean, playing it with 4 people on the GameCube and getting into different vehicles and going at each other. I thought that was good. I think that could be great online on the Wii U.
I mean, as I was talking to you earlier about like the Crimson Dragoon that they have for the Xbox One now.
Panzer Dragoon Orta.
Yeah, the sequel to that.
Yeah.
That I guess there's some hardcore fans who wanted it, but like I played it back in the day and it was cool back in the day, but
because it's back in the day.
Yeah, because it was like I was saying, like that. Those type of games, like Star Fox as well, like those on rails type of like just shoot everything on the screen. That's just a really old like.
It's a very old concept.
Genre, and it's an old concept.
Because they didn't have like the power to make things completely free roam and you can go on and kill whatever you want to.
Like when they announced the Crimson Dragoon, I was like, okay, this could be cool if they had like open levels or something like that, or add some like some crazy like land battles to it or something. And it's just the same shit. It looks like the same fucking game. It's still on rails, just shoot everything on screen.
Terrible idea.
I really hope it's like, I don't remember if they mentioned anything about this, but I really hope it's like downloadable, because there's no way this is going to be a $60 game.
Yeah. Do you remember when they actually announced that all those years ago when they announced the Kinect? Do you remember that for 360? How it just never showed up to the party, but when they announced it when the Kinect was being announced. And everybody was like, yeah. And I was like, even back then, that was somewhat acceptable. Because it was like a Kinect game, and no one really expected that much from it. And that it was just kind of a sequel to a very nostalgic game. Now that you've saved that game for the next gen, and it's still on rails, we're kind of like, okay, you didn't do anything.
No, they didn't upgrade a single thing about it.
Yeah, I can just imagine, like, the CEO being in the studio, like, you had one job. You had one job.
Improve the franchise. And he's like, okay, make the same game? Okay, Roger.
Thank you. It's still on rails. Like, I don't see how that at all was a good idea. Like,
no.
You have a system that everybody's saying, oh, it's so powerful and you have so many possibilities. Then why are there still rails in my game? Like, I don't get that. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I mean, I don't think the conference was a total failure. Like, it wasn't as much of a flop as
it could have been.
Well, it wasn't much of a flop as their previous announcement.
No.
Like, it wasn't as bad as them debuting the Xbox One itself. But like, it's just, it didn't grip me. Like, and there are also a lot of vague trailers. That's what kind of left me thinking, like, okay, well,
like,
where's the rest of it?
Like Quantum Break in D4
and what's
below.
And there's another one. Can't think of it. It's where the guy's like rappelling down the building.
That they didn't even give a name of that game.
Yeah, they did.
Did they? I didn't catch it. They were just like, "Oh, it's being made by our new studio. Look at this," and it's just the trailer. And they're like, "Yeah, look at that."
Let me see. I gotta scroll really far down this list. Black. No, never mind. Yes, it's just Black Tusks
Studios. Yeah, they just mentioned the studio. They didn't mention the game.
Yeah, but like even that, I'm like, okay, if you're gonna debut it, like,
give it a name.
Don't even give it a name. Just show me a. Don't have like absolutely nothing to show and then no name. Like, you might as well have not even showed that. Like, you should just left it on the back burner.
I mean,
like,
it kind of looked like a Syndicate game, and that's my guess for it. But who knows what the hell it could be.
Yeah, but like my thing is, like, it had no name, and then it had an extremely vague trailer. Like, pick one, okay? Give it a name and have an extremely vague trailer, or have a somewhat deep trailer that gets people excited for the game, and then no name. But don't just have a very vague, not anything trailer and then no name. Then everyone's just like, okay, I'm gonna forget that in about 24 seconds. Like, it makes it very forgetful. I think that was a bad decision. Some of their stuff, I feel like they just kind of wanted to get everything out and like show you as much stuff as they could.
Like, so, like they should Halo 5. It's Halo 5. You're gonna buy it or you're not. I mean, there's nothing really talked about. Below, which is like their roguelike game they were talking about, but it's hard to tell what they showed because this camera is pulled back so far you can't see anything. All we could tell is that it was multiplayer. Yeah. It's apparently a roguelike. D4, I don't know why they showed the D4 trailer like immediately after Quantum Break and didn't talk about it. They were just like, I thought it was the same game for like the first half of the trailer, and then I was like, why did the graphics suddenly change? Maybe
exactly.
Some filter.
Very confused.
And they're like, oh no, it's a different game. And he's like, yeah, you see the trailer? It was cool. That's their new game.
Bye.
Can you talk about it, please? No, it's just it's D4.
D4, a new game, just moonwalked really fast off the studio, and that's pretty much it. Like, I was just like, okay, that was cool. Like, it was like the equivalent of some really random weird guy walking through the room.
Just does a dance and then just walks through the rest of the room and leaves.
Exactly. Comes in, does like a really weird, just shooks and jives real quick, and then just leaves through the door. I was like, okay, well, that was nice, I guess. And they showed that it was essentially pretty much for the Kinect. They showed that.
Yeah, they had like the little on-screen prompts, like move your hands up and down.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun. Look, Kinect games are bad enough, let alone QuickTime Kinect games.
Yeah, exactly. But let's just take a minute to talk about QuickTime, the video game.
Oh, Rise, Son of Rome.
Yeah.
QuickTime the video game. They showed like 5 minutes of the game, and it was nothing but QuickTime events.
That's what killed me. It was like, it looked like, okay, you get 2 slashes in that QuickTime event, 1 slash QuickTime event, block, QuickTime event.
Crytek announced this game like 5 years ago too, and they've had it on hold forever. And they were like, oh, it's gonna be like the most realistic sword fighting game ever, and blah blah blah. And then it doesn't even use Kinect.
Exactly.
So I don't know how it's a realistic sword fighting
Apparently
game.
They were saying that it may be. They were saying that it may have Kinect.
So it's gonna be like D4, QuickTime event with Kinect, the game.
But exactly. That's my point. That was my point as well. It was just like, you're doing this so wrong. Like, that game could have been good if you would have literally just. I'm not saying could have been good, because that would be implying that it's already out and played it and everything. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that it could have looked a lot better conceptually, okay, if they just took out those QuickTime events and just let you do all of it yourself. Because if that's supposed to be the most realistic sword fight,
QuickTime.
But if I just take them at their word and say this is so realistic, I'm gonna get a sword, go outside right now, make 2 slashes, and if time doesn't slow down, okay, and give me the chance to finish him, I'm gonna be pissed, because that's not realistic at all. It makes no sense to me. It's so realistic, but we're gonna slow down time for you and give you command prompts.
Yeah, don't slow down time to give me a head stomp button. Just give me a head stomp button.
Thank you.
I mean, what the Dead Space series had a head stomp button. Just do that. Give me a head stomp button.
Exactly. Just pan the camera down a little bit. Don't even tell me. Just give me the opportunity. Okay. Like I've been playing a lot of retro games lately, and I've been kind of realizing like I kind of missed the day when like they didn't tell you things and you just kind of figured.
Oh yeah, I love that shit.
Like
I play more like old school games than I do like current gen games.
Yeah,
and I enjoy them a lot more.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of old school games lately, and on ZSNES and whatnot, and it's just like
no hand holding.
Yeah, exactly, and the feeling that you get, like I've been playing through Earthbound lately. And like the feeling that you get when you like get to the next part of the story, you feel like you've just beaten like Dark Souls because it's because just finding secrets in that game and just finding people and getting new stuff and talking to everyone and finally just digging to the next part of the game. Like the feeling of accomplishment you get there, because it's not like the story's bad. The story is still there. It just doesn't hold your hand and give you a yellow brick road to go find to get to the next chapter. Like things like that, I think kind of need to come back a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Another thing, did you ever, back on topic, did you see the Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain trailer?
No, I missed the first 30 minutes of the conference. Missed 20 or 30 minutes.
Oh, you didn't YouTube it or anything yet?
I didn't. What?
You didn't like go to YouTube and like find it?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's Metal Gear. I can imagine what it looks like.
Yeah. It's just a really, really pretty Metal Gear.
It's because they have their Fox engine.
Fox engine, which looks beautiful, but I don't know. Like, it doesn't look better at all. Another thing, one thing that made me like chuckle was like, because apparently in this one, Snake is assembling a team, okay, and they show the names of. I just hope I can find these names because like it's ridiculous. Like, okay, there's a girl named Quiet, literally named just Quiet, okay, a guy named, is it Poem Talker? Like, I'm being dead serious. They are that bad. Like, let me find them. Like,
it's as we said in our pre-E3 discussion that they just kind of let Kojima just take control of Metal Gear 5 and do whatever the hell he wants. That's why there's whales. That's why he has one arm and fires a shotgun off of a unicorn and ridiculous shit like that. You can tell they just let him have full control and didn't limit him at all.
Like, that was like... That's just like, I was trying to take it so seriously. And then the names came up and I just started dying. Like, I couldn't, because like the gameplay and everything, you know, the stealth was nice and, you know, it showed, you know, a lot of more interactive gameplay and a whole lot of like do-it-yourself type of stuff, you know what I mean? And then like when I see the names, hold up, they're coming up in the video right now. Hold on. I have to tell you these names. I think they're getting there. Okay. Because they're so bad. And I was like, please let these not be the names in the game, because just please no, that's not funny. Don't do that. Like, if someone came up to me and asked me to audition for a character named Poem Talker or Quiet, I'm like, is this a joke? Like, I'm gonna look at you and just walk away. Like, okay, hold on. Yeah, hold on. This is it. Hold on. It's Quiet. There's Poem Talker. There's Skull Guy.
Skull Guy.
You know another thing that kills me? Okay. when the Japanese like mix names. Okay, this guy named Kazuhira Miller. Like, that's like name being Tatsunosuke Jones. Like, what? Like, I don't understand. There's just things that, I mean, okay, besides Kazuhira Miller, there's Quiet. And then it gives like a small description of who they are. There's Ellie, the boy who curses his fate. I thought, or it's hopefully Eli. Hopefully Eli, not Ellie, because that would have No. But Skullface, not Skull Guy, Skullface. Sorry,
Skullface.
Skullface.
It's a little better.
Yeah, I was like, don't give him that much credit. Emmerich. Or Emmerich, whatever. Ocelot. Because that just... Oh, Code Talker. There we go. Code Talker.
Code Talker.
Code Talker. Like, I don't understand. Like, who... I want to know who was in charge of these names.
Kojima? Who the hell else would come up with a name like that?
I want to know who's in charge of these names, because, like, they're so random. That's what kills me. It just... For one, you name someone Quiet, and that alone just... No. But then the small descriptions below them, like... If you have one guy named Snake, give everybody else a name that is like equivalently, makes them look, all badass and whatnot. Not Quiet. Not
Quiet? You really fucking hate that name,
yes,
dude.
I can't stand that they just named the chick Quiet. I literally she can be a mute person who's also deaf, okay, and blind, and has has dead senses, okay, and can't feel, hear, or say.
She's just blind, deaf, and dumb, and retarded, and has Down syndrome, and just nothing but a vegetable.
And she is still not acceptable to be called Quiet. There's no acceptable term. There's no circumstance under which you should name somebody Quiet.
Oh, jeez.
That's because it's the names. Like, I'm just looking at them, and I was just like, why? Like, But aside from the rant of the names that Kojima does,
that took up the last 10 minutes.
Really?
I don't know. The EA conference starts now, so we gotta cut this off soon.
Okay.
What haven't we hit? Battlefield 4. It's Battlefield 4.
Oh, true. Battlefield 4.
Killer Instinct, which is just Street Fighter with animals.
Yes.
I mean, they had the same goddamn moves as Street Fighter in it.
Yeah.
And I swear that if the dude was not saying Hadouken, he was saying something damn close to Hadouken.
See, the thing is, like, I was actually really happy for the people who were complaining about Rare and the other things saying. So what confused me a lot was, like, people were like, oh, Rare's new game, Kinect Sports. And I was just dying laughing because everybody was like, it's going to be Banjo and Kazooie, right? Or Killer Instinct or something, or anything at all that's not Kinect Sports, and it was Kinect Sports. So, like, there's a trailer on right now, actually, on Frostbite 3 engine on the EA conference. I'm watching it right now. Just so you know, just cluing you in. But
yeah, I'm watching. I just have it on mute.
Okay.
What else haven't we hit? I love how they announced Minecraft for Xbox One.
Yeah.
Just no. Just
that's
stop.
another thing I really wanted to touch on, is the fact that they were announcing games for the Xbox One and Xbox 360 that were either multi-platform or just weren't theirs. And like, for example, World of Tanks, everybody's like, yeah, and like he's really excited about it. And I'm like, all right, I understand you made the game, but like, it's World of Tanks. Like,
I don't know. World of Tanks is immensely popular.
It is. I don't even understand why. I'll be completely honest with you.
Yeah, honestly, I don't like Tank Warfare that much.
I like Tank Warfare, kind of, sort of, but...
Give me mechs and it's a different story, but tanks I don't care about.
Hawken. Like, Hawken is something that... I don't know if you played Hawken, but, Hawken is something that, like, if you said, hey, okay, there's a free-to-play version of this for PS3, I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool, I'll actually go play that. But, like, another thing I thought was fun about the World of Tanks thing is that they were kind of just reusing, like, the same attack pattern footage over and over again. Like, they would, like,
it's a tank. I mean, how much different tanks fight?
But that was my point. Was just like, it was just funny how they would cut to, like, okay, 2 tanks double teaming another tank, cutting back to a mortar. 2 tanks, mortar, tank, mortar. They would show the mortar every 3 seconds. I'm like, okay, we understand you can have long range mortars. We get it. But like, World of Tanks, I understand there will probably be some people that go on and play that. I personally don't see the appeal in it, but that's just me. Also, how they announced Dark Souls for
Right? Like
yes.
we didn't already know it was coming out for Xbox 360.
We know that was coming, and it's totally only for Xbox 360, right? Like,
I'm just gonna get it for PC.
Exactly.
They're developing it mainly for PC this time, so
exactly. That's my point. Was like, okay, well, I mean, I suppose since you're Microsoft and you have a foot in that industry, I guess you can announce it for that. But
then again, they had Call of Duty as half of their Xbox One reveal, so. Talking about dogs, and we have the awesome AI that makes fish swim away. 15-year-old AI, and you're saying it's brand new.
Yeah, thank you. Like, gosh, I want to not dislike Microsoft.
And dislike them all you want. There's you have.
I want to not dislike them, okay? I truly do. I want to like Microsoft and buy their systems and, not read into the fact that they have a creepy mandatory webcam that always has to be on so they can watch you masturbate and whatnot. But, like, I don't really...
I'm waiting for the story because they said if you're... Someone created, like, this rumor where they were like, oh, if the Kinect detects a gun, it'll send, like, a report to the police. It's most likely bullshit. I know that's gonna happen.
I wouldn't, no,
but
honestly...
No, I wouldn't put him against them.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But I'm just waiting for, like, it to, like just some, like, black dude with a huge dick walks around naked, and then it's just, like, it's, like, gun detected, and then, like, just the police rush his house.
And just show up, where's the weapon? I don't know what you're talking about. Where is it? We saw it on your Kinect. Like, that's the thing. That's like my paranoid side is not going to allow me to put that system in my household. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I don't want you listening to my conversations and eavesdropping on everything I do. Like, get out of here. Like, and the fact that it's mandatory to play the system, it bothers me. I don't understand why. Like, there's
it just jacks up the price of the system and creates a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, but like, there's still, to me, no discernible reason why you should do that. I mean, there. I got in an argument with somebody like who was like, "Oh, well, you shouldn't bitch about that because what about the Wii and the Wii U?" I'm like, "With what, sir?" And they're like, "The sensor bar and the Wii U with the gamepad." I'm like, "The gamepad is the fucking controller of the system. Like, it's an apparatus that is completely joined with the entire system. That doesn't count." And then the sensor bar may drop up the price by like 72 cents.
72 cents.
It might drive it up by about 72 cents, but that's all I see that little piece of plastic doing. The extremely long cord is about 70 cents of that 72.
And then it's just the cheap plastic covering the sensor bar.
Right. Is this supposed to be like Extreme Plants vs. Zombies, by the way, we're looking at?
They're making a free-to-play shooter of Plants vs. Zombies.
Oh, that's awesome. It's free to play.
Yeah, it's going to be riddled with microtransactions up the ass.
That's what everybody's doing now.
They've, like, mentioned it that it's just going to be microtransaction heavy as fuck. And they're going to get away with it because of how many fans of Plants vs. Zombies there are.
True. It doesn't look bad, though. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, we got 3 things I've written down left to discuss, and that's Witcher 3, which looks awesome, but as I said, I still have yet to beat Witcher 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. I got to, like, really close to the end of Witcher 1 and got, like, completely stuck.
And another thing that's multi-platform, though.
Yeah, it's still multi-platform. It's still going to be PC main, too.
Yeah.
And there's Dead Rising 3, which
looks too serious for a Dead Rising game. But...
yeah, it looks good, but it's not comical at all like the first two. And I feel like they did that solely to get it, like, the Walking Dead fans. To be like, oh, look, we have a serious zombie game.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the end of 1 was somewhat serious, wasn't it?
I played 1 so long ago, dude. So long ago.
Regardless, you could have a boat oar with 2 chainsaws.
It still wasn't serious. I mean, there's still he takes pictures of zombies. He goes, fantastic.
Yeah, like he's not a serious individual. So like, but that's another thing that I really disagreed with during Xbox's conference was he was saying, the next gen. It was during the Forza Motorsport, which we didn't even touch on yet. But,
I think I marked that down. Yeah. I marked it down as read off because there's no point in talking about it. It's Forza.
Yeah, exactly. Like, It's Forza Motorsport. It's a that's the thing is like
it's the Xbox rated. It's the Xbox driving sim. If you like driving sims and you have an Xbox, you're gonna get it.
Yeah, but not just that. It's a racing game. Racing games are one of the easiest ones to do. You know why? Because you don't have to do that much. Like
it's up there with Madden. You just barely tweak it and add some new stuff in and new game.
Yeah, basically, and just upgrade those textures, which takes an entire like 35 minutes. Like, don't. It's not that
just
difficult.
One guy to do it for 35 minutes.
Yeah, just one guy, like that whole department. He's like, "Hey, I'm Tim. I have to take the textures every 4 years." It's just, oh gosh.
Every 4 years? No, just do it every year. Every 6 months, he's got to do
it. And then how they brought up that like the car from Forza. Like in the middle of the stage.
They were like, we have our partnership with Ferrari or whatever, and I was like, okay,
like, I don't care. Like,
no
that's
one
good.
cares
That's
that you
nice.
have a partnership with Ferrari. Okay, you'll have official cars in it, but you know what also has like official cars that don't have licensing? Grand Theft Auto. They still have like Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Corvettes in it, but they just don't have the names
because they don't have the licensing. Brag about it either.
Yeah, and no one gives a damn.
Yeah, no one cares. That's my point. It's like, we have a partnership with Ferrari. It's like, that's nice that you're giving Ferrari all that money that they don't need, but what does that do for me? Am I gonna get a Ferrari like in real life? No? Okay, well then.
If I buy the game, will you give me a Ferrari?
It's like, that's my point. It's just like Xbox loves doing unnecessary stuff. That's why and it's always something in attempts to seem flashy or cool. That's why I always compare them to like those parents that try to like stay relevant and cool, but aren't that much. And they're just trying too hard, and I'm like, dude, all you had to do was just show the gameplay. Like, we're not here to see your fancy car that will never drive on stage. Like, they do it all the time. Same thing with last E3 and the fucking Usher concert that I don't even want to talk about.
Oh God, that.
Yeah, like that's my point. It's like people are like, no, I'm like, really? Think about like every E3 from Microsoft ever, and I rest my case.
Like, just so much unnecessary shit.
Thank you. They're always trying to beef stuff up and talk about stuff that like their core audience doesn't care about. It's like, we care about the game. We don't care. We don't even like. This is the fact that we're driving a virtual car, but you bring a real one on stage and talk about your partnership with Ferrari that we give negatives about. Okay, and then
partnerships with stuff like that is completely unnecessary. Even EA dropped all their gun licensing after Battlefield 3 because they realized Battlefield 4, no one gives a damn if it's the Colt M1. If it's the Colt M4 M1 or whatever, they don't give a damn.
Dude, you can call it a zippy doodah, okay? As long as it looks like an M16 and shoots like an M16 and sounds like an M16, we don't care. Like,
I really hope they call it the zippity doodah.
I don't understand how these concepts are difficult to understand. It's just like, sometimes the minimalist approach works. You don't need to always, you don't need to name drop and look like, and try to seem like you're doing all this extra cool stuff that really doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? And I just feel like they do that a lot. And Microsoft, this is so unnecessary all the time.
So, last thing to talk about is they still have the subscription for online, still. And while they did take the free games from PlayStation Plus, it's still required to play online. Exactly
my point. And it's just like, thing is, they didn't really do anybody any favors. Like, that's the one thing, like, I had to laugh at when, like, the first 2 games are Assassin's Creed, and then he said 2, and I just threw my hands up, like...
It's not even the newest one.
I don't care. Like, I can go buy that at GameStop for, like...
At this point, if you haven't played Assassin's Creed 2, you're not going to.
Thank you. That's my point.
You don't want to.
Like, and if anything, give 1 and 2. Like, not just 2, because if you haven't played 2 yet, why would you? If you haven't played Assassin's Creed yet, okay, why would you just jump in at 2? Like, that's my point. It's like, you haven't played it yet, then you're probably not going to. If that free game makes you want to play it, then shouldn't you give them 1? And if you just gave them 1, that's just being a cheap bastard. So you might as well give them 1 and 2. Give them 1, 2, and 3 for goodness sakes. I mean, PlayStation PlayStation Plus gives you so much more than that.
Yeah, because gold members get 2 free games a month, and PlayStation Plus, they get like 6 free games a month. For multiple consoles, they get it for the Vita as well.
Thank you, but it's not just that. Like, you get so much free stuff and so many free games you get the
free themes, free avatars. You get discounts on all the games.
Exactly, and then you get free random games that just pop up out of nowhere on the store, and that are free for PlayStation Plus members, and a lower price for and a low price for other people. So it's just like you're not really gonna beat out PlayStation Plus with what you're doing. Plus, you also
PlayStation Plus is optional.
Thank you. That's my thing. Is that PlayStation Plus is entirely optional.
Unless they announced later today that they're having a subscription requirement to play online,
which would kill them.
PlayStation 1 online again.
No, but that's my point. Is that like they are saying they're trying to beat. Oh wow, new Star Wars Battlefront. That is good stuff.
It's kind of old news, but okay.
I didn't know. I didn't see it. I just heard of it now.
Disney gave EA the rights to like all the Star Wars games.
I'm still mad that Disney even has the rights to Star Wars at all.
Why?
Because I hate Disney.
They can't ruin it more than George Lucas has.
Dude.
Disney is the shit. Fuck you. You're a faggot.
No, really? Because Disney is made of. I don't even want to. I'm not even gonna go into it.
Don't go into it because this is about Xbox and games.
This is Xbox, not Disney, and they're Nazis. Okay, we're gonna let it go. But what else? The only thing we haven't touched. What have we not touched on so far about Microsoft?
That's everything on my list.
Okay, because we talked about Forza Motorsport, and the one thing that did prove some people wrong though is how they because originally when they said they purposefully didn't kind of target the highest end graphics they possibly could, people figured that everything that they were showing was all just CGI, and they did show today that their graphics are very good.
They're good, but they're still not as impressive as I was hoping.
Well, I mean, we all understand that. Well, there's two things. One, I am not at all convinced that those games are running on
final hardware.
Xbox One, yes, on an actual Xbox One. Those were either completely blown up dev kits or flat out PC.
Yeah.
The CEO himself could come to my door right now and says we were playing those on Xbox One, and I'm like, get the fuck out. You're a liar. I mean, and I'm still kind of. I think it's actually a really bad move. Speaking of the system, I think it's a really bad move making it $500. I mean, people are like, oh no, that's not bad pricing at all.
It's because they have to include the Kinect that adds like $150 to it.
Exactly. And my point is just like, okay, well, we all know any console priced at $500 does not go well. We saw that with the PlayStation. Yeah, Sony will personally come tell you it was a 500 in some places, and I heard it was like 600 in one place, and just
it's 600 if you want to get like the 180 gigabyte one or something.
Yeah,
which is the version I have for like $250 now.
Yeah, and the fact that they put another PlayStation and brought out another 360. I was like, why? It's on its last legs. Why would you even bother? Like, we understand that PlayStation has brought out 3 different PS3 units, but that doesn't mean it's a good example. It wasn't a good idea. The only reason that they did it was because they realized that PlayStation Plus people, wanted a lot more hard drive space.
Yeah.
So it worked for them. For you, not so much. Like, people aren't really banging down the doors for that hard drive space. And then, there's a lot of people complaining about the Wii too. Oh, well, hard drive space there. I'm like, you can buy a terabyte hard drive and plug it into the back and bam, more space than anything. So, relax. It's and I kind of like it better that way. But just keeping the price points low, because the PlayStation 3, I can see, 4, I can see being $500 for what you're getting out of it, to be honest with you.
You're getting a lot stronger hardware out of it, though, too.
Yeah, a lot stronger hardware. And that I can see being $500. And I hope it is no higher than that, because I'll cry.
I can't see them raising.
I can't
it more
be at
like
$549. I'd bust out a tear. I'd be like, oh gosh.
Unless they release like one with like way more hard drive space or something like that. But like the standard, I cannot see higher than 500.
Yeah, I can't
because they know that shit doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's my
from
thing.
Personal experience.
Exactly, from personal experience, I can see. But that's another thing. They could completely trump the Xbox One. I almost say 720 every single time because it sounds right, and
Xbox One sounds dumb.
I have to force myself to say Xbox One, but they could trump it completely if they just make it like 450 or 400. It would be like, all right, well, you won. Like, stronger system.
Just hands down, yeah, stronger system that's cheaper.
Yeah, that's cheaper. You know what I mean? And it has, and not the thing.
I mean, they totally could because consoles tend to take a loss on sales.
Yeah, and that's they don't. I mean, Wii U didn't turn a profit, until recently, which I'm still so very excited for tomorrow morning. Good 7 a.m. prompt. When the new Super Smash Brothers and the Nintendo Direct and all that come out.
Yeah.
I might just like pop a sleeping pill after the Sony conference, just so I can fast forward to that moment. But overall, did the Microsoft's conference, make you want an Xbox One?
Not entirely. The only thing that I was interested in was Titanfall.
Yeah, Titanfall was the one thing that was like, there may be some potential.
And that's the only thing that I'm mad that it's exclusive.
Is that Jesse from Breaking Bad?
No, it's some guy who looks like him named Aaron Paul. They showed his name up earlier because I thought the same fucking thing. Yes. I thought the same thing.
I was like, Jesse, go home.
I mean, maybe the actor's name is Aaron Paul. I have no idea. I'll look that up if my computer's not gonna freeze on me.
No, that's Aaron. No, Aaron Paul is the guy. That's
okay.
The guy. That's the guy. Which is just surprised me because I'm like, why is he like?
Now I sound like an asshole for like calling the guy an asshole because his name was Aaron Paul.
I mean, hey, Jesse was constantly playing video games in the show, but but anyway, back on topic. The conference, Titanfall, and Project Spark really piqued my interest. But I can't see myself spending $500 to play them.
No, maybe if I could like buy one cheap off of Craigslist or something, I might get it. But
I mean, personally, I'm just hoping that Titanfall is.
I just don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why Microsoft keeps all their exclusives on Xbox when they can put it on PC just fine.
Yeah, that's what bothers me. It's like,
and it's even worse. The worst example is the Fable franchise. They had Fable Lost Chapters, which was the expanded version of the original, which was on PC. It was not on console. They released on consoles afterwards, I think. And it was on PC. And then Fable 2 was not on PC. And then Fable 3 was on PC. And I'm like, what the hell happened to Fable 2?
Honestly, Fable is another. That is what the conference was missing for me as well. Was a new Fable that didn't completely take a massive dump on the name of the franchise.
Well, I mean, Peter Molyneux left the company, and I think they're working on something else now.
Because revitalizing the Fable franchise.
Oh shit! It's Dragon Age.
This is Inquisition.
I don't know if you're.
I didn't see the Dragon Age above the Inquisition because my screen was too light. But personally, I'm still trying to get into the Dragon Age franchise.
The first one was fantastic in my opinion.
Still getting there. I haven't been able to really get into it yet. Yeah, Microsoft. I can't see myself getting one ever, just because of I hate the features that much, to be honest with you. Like
if I could get it from like $10 off Craigslist, I may get it if the guy pays for my gas. or if he delivers.
He delivers it to me. True. Maybe if like the guy's there and he has a girlfriend and she offers me like a free BJ, you know what I mean? Like then that would be like a deal breaker. Then I might give you $10 for it. But
the dude pays me for me to take his Xbox One.
Yeah,
I might consider it.
If he gives me $5, you know what I mean? If there's pizza.
If there's pizza.